So MindTap homework. When you first open MindTap, you see this vertical view here. That is the best view to find out most immediately what is due. And in this example, in this particular tutorial, Aplia has a two-part homework 1, due September 13th at 11:59 p.m. You can open the two parts. We'll take a look at part A first. And that will open Aplia. And Aplia is what populates your homework questions. Okay, this is the first type of homework question. You'll have questions that are worth different values, 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, maybe all the way up to 5. And the total assignment for part A is worth 25 points. Okay, now when you see 3 boxes here for attempts, that means you actually have 3 attempts at this question. So you can open the question and let it take a moment to load, and you can select an answer based on the question, and you have a couple options here. You can hit save and continue, which I recommend if you're working ahead. If it's something we haven't covered in lecture, or you haven't done the reading or something you wanted to ask me about before you submitted it, you could hit save and continue. Now keep in mind, this does not turn in the homework. It does not grade it. It just saves it so you can come back and work on it later. Now, the other option here is grade it now. Now, when you have questions that have multiple attempts, where you had the 3 boxes, you will always have a grade it now option. Okay, this is your first attempt, there's your second, there's your third, if you see my cursor moving here. Say you were to enter the wrong answer. Well, it would be 0 for 1. Okay, you would have another attempt to get it right. But before you make that attempt, you say if you missed it, there will be an explanation in this area where you see the blank white screen here. There will be an explanation that will pop up and explain how the problem got to the answer, how it did. Say it would explain why the opportunity cost was, the answer that it gave. Okay, and it'll explain why you were wrong, which is a learning opportunity on your end. Now, on your second attempt, let's say you get it right because you learned from the explanation, you will be 1 for 1, but you're collectively 1 for 2. So you're 0 for 1 and then 1 for 1, so that means you're 1 for 2. So your score on multiple attempt questions, once you hit grade it now, if you took 2 attempts and got one of them right, would be 0.5. Okay. Now, the details of the question will change. It'll be the exact same type of question, but the numbers and the details will change. So it gives you practice at something that you miss. So that's the value of grade it now. When it is an option that you have multiple attempts, certainly if you miss a question, you should give yourself enough time to do those attempts because you can learn from your mistakes. Now, the idea is for you to learn from your mistakes here on the homework, so you really knock it out of the park on the exam. So that's the multiple attempts. Now, you only get the multiple attempts if you hit grade it now. Okay? Save and continue does not submit it. And then if we were to go back to the part A, the overview of part A, there's another button in here, I'm done, grade the assignment now. That does not give you multiple attempts, okay? The only way to get multiple attempts is grade it now on each individual question. So each question will have grade it now options. Once you hit I'm done, grade the assignment now, it sends it to me. Okay, it puts it in the grade book. It tells me how you did, and I can look at your score. Okay, now I'm done, graded assignment now is very important because if you don't click that, it's like this was a physical homework and it was due in class and you didn't bring it to class and turn it in. Any professor in that situation would just give you a 0, and so in the same situation, I'll do the same. So it's very important that you hit I'm done, grade assignment now. Before 11:59 on September the 13th for this particular due date for this particular assignment. But when you're looking at a homework assignment where it has 3 attempts, the only way you get those 3 attempts is if you grade each question, grade it now. That gives you an opportunity to truly show that you understand opportunity costs in this example. If you don't want to submit it just yet, hit save and continue. But either way, in the end, you have to hit that overall button, I'm done, submit this assignment. Okay, that's how you turn it in, just to be clear. All right, so this homework, if you recall, had two parts. Okay, there was part A, and this is part B. Homework 1 is part A and part B. Both are due. Okay, so you click on part A, and it will populate the question field. You can see here we have some multiple choices. We have some problems and applications. Looks like here you have a total point value of 39. So your score is 0 out of 39. Whatever you get out of 39 will be your score on this particular part. But then we take that 39 and we add it to the 25, and your overall score for the homework is what you scored out of both the 25-point portion and the 39-point portion. Okay? Now here, you don't see attempts, you see status. Okay? If you see one box, that means you just have one crack at it. Okay? So again, in the end, you're going to have to hit I'm done, grade the assignment now. That's basically saying, hey, I want to turn it in. But in this example, take a moment for the multiple choice question to load. This is a lot like how your test would be. So when you wouldn't have multiple attempts, you just have one crack at it. So it's a good practice for that. Okay. So you could answer the question, economics is best defined as a study of, and then you pick your answer and you hit save and continue. Okay. Then you go on to the next question all the way through this 39-point, for this particular homework, 39-point question. Or list of questions that are worth 39 points, I should say. So really, those are the two different types of questions. Now, keep in mind, save and continue does not submit the work. In the end, for either part, you need to, say for part B, in the end, to turn it in, you need to look at your due date. For this example, September 13th at 11:59 p.m., to turn it in, to physically turn the assignment into me, you need to click I'm done, grade the assignment now. That will send me your score and your performance, okay? Otherwise, on my end, if you open up my grade book, all it looks like is you just didn't do it. So I can't really tell who did it and who didn't if you don't submit it. And that's the same thing as if you had a physical homework that you took home. You did it, but you didn't bring it back to class. Okay, so think of it that way. So again, you'll have different parts to your homework. You will have ones that will give you multiple attempts. If they have multiple boxes there, to do the multiple attempts, you have to hit grade it now for each individual question. You work through it one by one. My homeworks aren't designed to be done in one night. That's why I usually give you all week to do it. So make sure you're giving yourself more than ample time to perform the homework. I always recommend that you take 15 to 30 minutes a day to work on the economics. Make sure you're doing the reading, watching the video lectures, and asking the questions if you have them. In this scenario, in this part B, there's only one chance. You only get one attempt at it, and that's you see the one box here. You see the weights of the scores here. And you can save and continue, but again, by the deadline, the overall, you have to hit I'm done, grade the assignment now. Okay? So it's been a quick tutorial on how to submit the homework in the different formats it can be in. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me a message. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll help you out just as best as I can. Thank you.